A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. As tensions remain high in the Middle East, the situation in Gaza continues to evolve following the initial phase of a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The ceasefire, which began on October 10th, has been marred by violence, with reports indicating that Israel has executed over 590 attacks during this period, resulting in the deaths of at least 360 Palestinians. This alarming escalation has raised questions about the effectiveness of the ceasefire and what the future holds for the region as leaders prepare to enter the second phase of negotiations. Hamas has recently signaled its willingness to discuss a potential freezing of its weapons, contingent upon the return of the last Israeli captive held in Gaza. This development comes amid ongoing discussions about the next steps in the US-led peace plan, which aims to bring an end to the violence that has plagued Gaza for years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has indicated that the second phase of the ceasefire could commence as early as this month, although he acknowledged the challenges that lie ahead. The first phase of the ceasefire was intended to halt hostilities, hold back Israeli troops, facilitate humanitarian aid, and negotiate the release of Palestinian detainees. However, the reality on the ground tells a different story. Despite the ceasefire agreement, Israel has continued its military operations, leading to a staggering total of over 70,000 Palestinian deaths since the onset of hostilities 2 years ago. Critics of Netanyahu's government argue that the ongoing violence is a reflection of his political maneuvering, as he faces pressure from both the international community and domestic political factions. Under the terms of the ceasefire, Israel was supposed to retreat behind a designated yellow line that separates areas controlled by the Israeli army from those under Hamas control. However, reports from Gaza suggest that Israel has been gradually encroaching on this line, displacing families and exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. The UN has recognized the dire situation in Gaza, with reports of widespread malnutrition among children and insufficient aid reaching those in need. Aid organizations have expressed concern over the limited humanitarian assistance allowed into Gaza, with many claiming that the majority of goods being delivered are commercial rather than humanitarian. This has led to a critical shortage of essential supplies, leaving many families struggling to survive. UNICEF has reported alarming statistics, revealing that nearly 9,300 children under the age of 5 are suffering from acute malnutrition, a stark increase compared to previous ceasefires. The uncertainty surrounding the second phase of the ceasefire is palpable. Netanyahu's critics have pointed out that he is navigating a complex political landscape, with his own corruption trial looming. Some analysts suggest that Netanyahu's reliance on the Trump administration may provide him with the political cover he needs to push through a peace deal, but the unpredictable nature of both leaders raises doubts about the likelihood of a lasting resolution. As both sides prepare for the next phase, significant disagreements remain over the role of an international stabilization force in Gaza. Hamas has indicated that it is open to discussions regarding the freezing of arms, but has firmly rejected any notion of foreign oversight over disarmament efforts. The group has expressed a desire for a UN presence to monitor the ceasefire, but insists that any international force must not have mandates over Palestinian territory. Netanyahu's recent statements suggest that he is aware of the complexities involved in moving forward, particularly regarding the disarmament of Hamas. The Israeli Prime Minister has emphasized the need for a clear timeline and structure for any international forces that may be deployed, highlighting the uncertainties that lie ahead. Furthermore, the proposed US-backed plan for Gaza includes the establishment of a transitional governance structure led by Palestinian technocrats, overseen by a multinational board. However, this plan has faced resistance from Hamas and other Palestinian factions, who argue that it undermines their sovereignty and fails to address the root causes of the conflict. With the clock ticking and the humanitarian crisis deepening, the stakes have never been higher for both Israel and Hamas. As they prepare for the next phase of negotiations, the international community watches closely, hoping for a breakthrough that could finally bring peace to a region long plagued by violence and suffering. However, with so many variables at play, including domestic political pressures and the unpredictable nature of leadership on both sides, the path to a lasting resolution remains fraught with challenges. The world waits to see whether the second phase of the ceasefire will bring hope or further despair to the people of Gaza. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.